long as he did damage, it is justified. And then, because of the way Lucario's aura is calculated, you're going to see a huge damage increase from Gibus, who, like we said, more than likely will be playing a very passive role, trying to keep his percent low with his stock count very high.
Yeah, and I mean, I've never seen a happier Gibus than a Gibus with like 3 extra stocks of aura. He's terrifying. He loves killing people at 40 with back air. But I mean, enough about that team. We do have to talk a little bit about CV Light and SM HyLeN. HyLeN known a little bit for his solid doubles play, for his solid Cloud. I mean, what did he do first tournament with Cloud, JB?
He got top 4, I believe.
Top 4 first day Cloud was released. This guy's no joke. Teaming with Light, who has had some solid names under his belt, like taking out the name Venti.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Of course, that was with his ZSS.
Correct.
It's interesting to see his Corrin come out here, but as you touched on, Corrin is an extremely solid team partner.
Oh my goodness, yeah, especially, all right, both characters have swords. Kirby's not having a good time. This might have been a calculated pick considering everyone knows Zan, the big tall guy, he plays Tiny Kirby. So I don't want to go into my Zero Suit where it's a little bit difficult to make those low blows.
Ooh, was going to think about how big of a factor Rage and Aura was going to be for Gibus, but right away you're noticing that HyLeN was so quick to close the stock out, preventing the advantage from being in Red's favor.
And right now, Green Team's kind of just milking it. The big advantage of Corrin, I believe, in this team is Corrin isn't awful in the 2v1. I am a firm believer that no character wins the 2v1 ever, but Corrin is pretty dang good at holding her own. And when you can hold off 2 members of the opposing team and there's a Cloud on yours, that gives him tons of free time to charge limit.
And especially when you go back further to how this team is playing with Zan trying to be the primary damage dealer, that's just giving HyLeN more time unrequited to just charge up that limit. I mean, think about how many limit broken moves we've seen from him in this first game.
Finally losing his first stock.
And we have a situation where percent advantage look in favor of Green, but they don't have the same stocks to boot. With Gibus at that kind of percent, you know that Rage is definitely going to be a factor along with that increased aura. This knockback might be too much for this Green team to handle.
He's got to be real careful landing on either of these characters. Both of them have solid landing options, kind of negating the amazing option that he has of his B-Reverse Aura Ball into up smash.
Oh, and you saw he was trying to close the stock out with an up air, and instead HyLeN drifts towards the left and finds an up air of his own. We're at last stocks for everybody except HyLeN. Though with the percent that we're seeing on Light, that could very well result in a share stock.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it really is just a very light lead for Green Team, but if they're able to hold on to this Corrin stock, they can milk it pretty hard.
And I think that we're going to be seeing Gibus stay in his shield a lot more moving forward, because these are both characters who don't really get a whole lot off of grabs in the late game.
Oh my goodness.
And Zan trying to go for the grab release. Maybe a slight error. He got the damage, but he also found himself falling victim to a barrage of attacks from Light.
I mean, that's another thing Corrin can do, be anywhere at any time. When you have the option of the Dragon Lunge, you basically have Fox mobility. You can go wherever you need to. Corrin, though, on her last limbs, that Dragon Lunge should not be online for very much longer.
Throw down. Ooh, Zan with a clutch spot dodge to avoid the down smash, whereas on stage right, Gibus gets a very critical kill, and now HyLeN against the world. High percent, and that's going to allow him to take the stock. Can he take one more against Gibus here? Percent is in his favor, but with Aura being such an incredibly daunting factor, HyLeN still has a long way to go here.
Oh, the shield poke there. Luckily not hitting the strongest of hits, allowing Gibus to still live.
That's again scary. Baits out the air dodge from HyLeN. He's trying to get back into this. HyLeN cannot afford to take a hit at this point.
I'm starting to wonder how doubles really affects Aura, because this doesn't seem like the normal Aura of like a 2-stock match right here. I feel like it's a little bit less powerful right now.
Yeah, maybe. Of course, it is. Their Cloud does have some amazing characteristics, especially whenever his limit is fully charged, and that could be a factor as well.
Very true.
Down throw now. These throws, they give him the time to charge up the limit, which he knows is so crucial to ending these stocks. But of course, at this kind of a percent, dash attack would probably do the job as well.
Oh, you know he didn't want to waste that there.
Definitely not. Another grab now from Gibus. He's just trying to figure out the KO option, trying to find that Aura Sphere cancel into up smash.
I mean, it's going to be a little bit difficult against Cloud having a character that does not let you land on him. You know.
Oh my god. That was... So basically what happened there was HyLeN gets towards the ledge, puts up a shield for a second, and thinks he's going to mind game Gibus into choosing the roll option. He drops the shield when he sees movement onto the ledge, thinking that Gibus has gone for the roll. Instead, when he drops the shield, that's when Gibus hits him with the off-ledge down air.
Oh my god.
That was a mind game for a mind game to close the game out.
And after such a deficit, they were able to pull it back just by throwing off Corrin, and really, Gibus was behind for quite a while before.
But that's the Lucario factor there. He is the ultimate comeback character, which is so funny because whenever I usually cast a Cloud match, I say that about Cloud.
Exactly. It's comeback character versus comeback character, and the Blue Dog's saying I was here first.
Yeah, definitely the OG here. Game 2. And going off to Town and City, do you have any thoughts on the counter pick here and how it might affect the outcome of this next match?
I mean, really, that is how it's going to affect the outcome. Kirby is light. He dies early. They want him to die as early as possible. And with two of these characters with the big swords, they have the kill power to get it done. Both of these characters up airs are insane, and they don't want to let Gibus to live to high percents either.
Zan, I don't know if he's doing his job as fully as he should as the quote-unquote entry fragger. We're seeing both of these green team members at a pretty healthy percent overall.
It is a little difficult as... Oh my god, Zan!
Our boy just got bodied. I mean, he just goes... That's, again, such a strong option, especially in doubles that Corrin possesses, that insane counter. And, of course, the other one that we have to talk about, that Dragon Lunge skewering everyone, as HyLeN hopes to go and put Zan entirely out of the picture.
This counter pick is working out so well for the green team right now.
This is looking just brutal. They're holding on to all of their stocks. Their individual stock count is equal to the entire red team pool of stocks. And now
scratch that.
The lead.
It is now
greater than.
Much greater than.
And certainly not equal to.
In fact, 3 times the amount of stocks. That's a deficit if I have ever heard of one. I'm hoping Lucario's aura can put in mad work right now.
That was...
For the sake of the red team.
Did you see how Light used his recovery option to get out of the combo follow-up that Gibus had?
Much like, I believe every other Fire Emblem character, except for Robin, Corrin has super armor on startup of her up special, so she was able to get out of the setup. It is not completely inescapable. You do have some time for input in between the Aura Ball and the up smash. Most of the time, it's not an input that will save you, though.
Great save, though, from Gibus, but wow! HyLeN, what a massive play to go and get a huge punish, and that might be all she wrote for this game. It's just Zan in a 2v1. If it was Gibus with that sort of comeback factor, I would have had higher hopes, but I just don't see how Zan could possibly do this.
This is 2 bad matchups at once with an extra stock behind. Kirby's going to have to put in a lot of work.
Taking a bite out of crime, hoping to take a bite out of this final stock. It's
and it's like, all right, I admit it. I've lost. But I'm taking you down with me. Take a bite out of that final stock, indeed. You know, at that point, Sam was just having fun. He knew what he was capable of.
Oh my god, that broke me. You know, it might just be that I haven't had dinner, but that like legitimately just broke me as a human being.
Oh my goodness.
I'm checked out. I'm checked out.
Man, the conversions at a green team that last game, they stepped it up.
Definitely. Definitely.
I really want to know what red team can do in this position to bring it back again.
Yeah, I don't think it was just good offense from them, but also good defense. Zan didn't have as easy of a time getting in, and when he would get in, he had such a tough time actually staying in. duck hunt for game 3. Zan and Gibus actually started the game off with Zan inhaling the power from Lucario.
Yeah, that Aura Ball, I mean, definitely not bad to have. Kirby with the projectile with that kind of air mobility, definitely solid, and you can take one from every character on the map right now, so not a bad option to start with one.
Great option there from Light. He very nearly just took an early stock from Gibus.
I have noticed a bit of a habit of Light's is to charge that stun gun at the edge and then go for the bite as he's descending. If Zan notices that and is able to dodge, he can get a free down air, and Corner doesn't have the best of recoveries.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, neighbor. Despite the recovery, we're seeing that Light was willing to go so deep. Meanwhile, on the other side of the screen, Gibus loses his first stock to HyLeN. And again, a very strong start for this green team, despite Red having counter pick advantage.
I think another big thing about this team is they're doing a good job of staying separated. Because they can cover so much ground, they don't need to stay close to convert off of each other. But they would like to keep Xanzy and Gibus away. They don't want them being able to do any sorts of team shenanigans. Because in a 1v1, I don't think that Kirby has a very fun time against swords.
Oh, he's not having a fun time at all right now. Zan was a few pixels from beating that bottom blast zone.
Just missing the tree there too, unable to capitalize off that up throw.
That's actually a really important talking point. One thing that this stage does give is Kirby some extra KO options. If he can get a good grab by the tree, he can close the stock out early. Bear from Gibus, killing almost everybody on screen as he's able to lay waste to HyLeN stock after taking out his teammate and Light.
Goodness. And Lucario is terrifying me right now, honestly.
We're going to be seeing the true power of Aura now that Zan is down a stock compared to Gibus, given the fact that Gibus also has insane damage on him as well.
Okay. Right now, Cloud does have limit. Chooses to use it on Kirby instead of trying to get that stock away from Lucario. I'm not sure if I agree with that.
At this kind of a percent, pretty much anything you touch Gibus with will kill him. But you know, you bring up a really good point. You want to make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's against a character like Lucario.
They were able to get Lucario's stock off before it became too much of a trouble, but oh my goodness, Lucario at 150 is a terrifying sight.
Super scary. And now these next moments are going to be on Zan. If he can survive a touch longer, they can bring this back to even down smash from Zan.
He was able to call out the bite right there and caught him with the iframes of his down smash.
Great call, neighbor. You're absolutely right. Adapting perfectly towards the tendencies from Light. Oh, holding it an extra moment. The bunny hop coming out from Light to avoid. And they're getting the skewer into the kick.
I think Xanzy was actually really looking for another counter out of Light there to call it out hard, but not able to connect. Somehow still able to come out with this life though.
Only momentarily as HyLeN sends him to the heavens. 2v1 now for Gibus. This comeback character might just meet his demise right here in this final game.
I mean, right now, HyLeN's actually very free to use his limits very liberally, because he knows he can sit back and charge it while Corrin goes in.
Oh, definitely.
And one limit could be the end of this game.
And Lucario, certainly not the quickest character. And what a conversion!
Hitting the sweet spot of that. HyLeN wants all you guys to know that it's not super... There is a sweet spot to that down B.
Oh my god.
It's actually right just above him, the top corner. That's why sometimes you'll see that Cloud hits it and you'll live at like 65 and die at 55.
It's weird.
Not just your DI, it also has a sweet spot.
He hit him so hard, we almost went to an FX commercial.
Oh my god.
He sent it straight back to the venue.